this wine is not fancy, right? I know some folks are like, I drink fancy wine. It's like, but no, a lot of our folks just want straight to the heart, and you're to blame. Sorry. People just want straight, delicious red wine from us once in a while. Actually, a lot of the time. You don't want to pay a lot of money. You want a great bottle of red wine. You want it kind of a little bit cool and artisan. You want it a little bit off the beaten path. You want flavor. You want fine tannins, sweet round fruit in the mid palate. Maybe not too big, weeknight type deal. And boom, Palacio del Burgo. This is the ticket. Yes, please, and thank you. So Palacio del Burgo, this is a label produced by Frank Casella, imported by Frank Casella, one of the great icon wine importers into the United States. I think he learned under Kermit Lynch, learned his skills very well, and proceeded to create a pretty enviable book of wines that actually were a bit more focused on tremendous value, like just great wines for the money. And he's never strayed from that in the 25, 30 years that we've known him. And one of the great labels he produces is this wine. I believe, if memory serves, made by Bodegas Monticello, which is, pretty large Rioja concern, long historical property. But they make this one on the side, and they make it a little bit to, I think Fran has a say in what goes on in this bottle, to certain specifications. And I think Fran's specifications were like, give me something easy and delicious and juicy and complex and fun. And they do it. They're not reinventing the wheel here. This is a classic Rioja Crianza from the 2022 vintage, 1 year in barrel, American oak barrels, a smidgen new, but mostly older barrels, right? So it's not going to be American oaky. Okay, let's get that out of your head right now. American oak is a wonderful neutral vessel. Little known fact, actually American barrels are preferred for longer term aging than the French barrels because of the porosity of the wood, is a major factor. And just the American barrels handle being around longer than a lot of the French ones. Funny little trivia there, They're totally neutral, but they'll go longer, which is a good thing because that keeps down costs. If you don't buy a lot of any fancy barrels, then this wine doesn't get expensive. And that's what we got going on here. So beautiful color, classic nose, 90% Tempranillo here, 10% Graciano. 10% Graciano. So no Masuelo, no Garnacha here. Which Graciano is kind of an aging grape, you know what I mean? So it's funny they put this in here. I think they want this wine to go more than a couple years. You can forget about this wine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see why Decanter got excited about this. Well, not Decanter itself, but the Decanter World Wine Awards. This is that awards program that we told you about that Decanter runs. And basically, anybody that submits Spanish wine to the Spanish section, it's reviewed and tasted blind by people that know their shit about Spanish wine. MSs, MWs, Spanish wine specialists, people that sold Spanish wine for 30 years in the market in England. These are not like, again, not people that made like Viognier and Paso Robles and all of a sudden they're like, reviewing Grand Reservas. No, it doesn't work that way. All pros tasting these wines blind at the Decanter World Wine Awards. This wine walked away with 95 points and a gold medal, which that's really hard to do for a wine in this price range. And I even don't think the label was expecting that. I think when the score came out, they were probably like, what? Damn. And they actually went out and bought like the super cool little stickers up there. Decanter 95 points. That's us. What? Did like a lot of selfie poses and hip hop gestures. No, they didn't. They just put the stickers on and sold us the wine. Yeah. It's amazing. What a wine for $17? Wow. But, okay, amazing. We're seldom, Rioja does this all the time, right? That's the beauty of Rioja. It is an area that can produce thousands of bottles of wine at a quality level with no money, and you're just blown away. And they sit in your cellar 10 years, and you pull them out, and they're still drinking great. And you're like, why am I not drinking Rioja? More Rioja. Like Indian food. Indian food's great. Just every time you have it, you're like, I fucking love Indian food. And then you don't eat it for a month. Don't let that happen with Rioja. Drink Rioja every day. Well, not every day because you need to drink other stuff from us, but drink Rioja once a week. Yeah, once a week. Drink Rioja once a week. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Drink, because you drink for breakfast, lunch, and dinner like we do, right? Maybe not. Yeah, $17, 95 points. I love Rioja so much. I can marry it. Don't tell my wife. Click, buy, like, subscribe.